Welcome into the Michigan Football Report. I'm your host, James Yoder, the most well-connected man in Michigan football that's not actually on the team or taking a paycheck from them. This is your Michigan Football Report. Getting you started today, talking about the 5 biggest risers, the stars so far in fall camp. And before we get into the list, I've got 5 players for you that are really just taking over fall camp right now, 2 weeks before Michigan's first game against Middle Tennessee State. I want to ask you guys this question. Who is your favorite player on the 2019 Michigan football team? Who is the guy that you want to buy his jersey or you can't wait to see what he does every single game? I'm going to go with Danna Peoples-Jones. I talk about DPJ a lot. I think he's my favorite player in the team. I think he has the potential to be the best wide receiver since Mario Manningham in 04, 05, 06, 07. Braylon Edwards 02, 03, 04. Big time fan of DPJ. Can't wait to see what he does this year. Folks, we are a couple weeks out, a little less than 2 weeks out now from Michigan football's opener against Middle Tennessee State, and we've got to get to 3,400 subscribers on YouTube. Go ahead and click it over there, Tad. 3,400 subscribers on YouTube. I got my producer just sitting there playing Parcheesi over here. I'm trying to do a read for YouTube. YouTube.com/Michigan TV is the place to go. You're watching it here, I'm hoping, or you're on the podcast or Facebook, most on YouTube. Go ahead and click the subscribe button. YouTube.com/Michigan TV if you're watching somewhere else on our website, app, etc. That is the way to go. Now, let's get into the top 5 Michigan football players that are starring in fall camp right now, headed into the 2019 season with, less than 2 weeks. I just can't wait. Less than 2 weeks. Are we ready, Tad? You need a moment? We're good? It sounds like we need a moment to get me going, but here we go. Ben Bredesen. We were tabulating the votes to see if Bredesen was going to be number 5, number 4, number 3, number 2, number 1. He came in number 5, according to our advanced metrics on who the best guy was. So Ben Bredesen, the offensive lineman, the first-team All-American in the preseason Sports Illustrated poll, is number 5, just having a great camp, is on pace to be, or is training to be a 2-time All-American, or 2-time captain for Michigan, was a mid-season All-American last year by the AP. Now he's a first-team All-American by Sports Illustrated, a publication I don't really respect at all, but he's leading this offensive line as a 4-year starter now, with Jon Runyan Jr. as an All-Big Ten player last year. Ben Bredesen, potential All-Big Ten, potential All-American player this year as well. Cesar Ruiz, Michael Onwenu, Jalen Mayfield. I think you've got 3 potential first-team All-Big Ten players from Ruiz over to Jon Runyan Jr. See what we got. Onwenu been a little bit, it's been a little bit inconsistent through his career. And then Jalen Mayfield taking over with the devastating injury to Andrew Stuber just this past couple of days. So with that being said, Ben Bredesen taking over camp, having a great camp. Who is the best offensive lineman in Michigan football history? Who do you think is the best offensive lineman in Michigan football history? You can go back to guys in the 70s, 80s, 90s if you want. If you want to stick more recent, you've got Taylor Lewan, you've got Steve Hutchinson. You certainly have Jake Long, the first pick in the draft. Who is the best offensive lineman in Michigan football history? You can say if you watch the guy or not. Your daddy told you about him. I want to know from you guys. I'm going to go with Jake Long just because multiple-time All-American and first pick in the draft. I think it was a 2008 draft after the 2017 season. Now, you guys know we talk gambling, we talk odds in the show. Michigan's new odds are out, and I think you've got some money to be made here, but the number is 9.5, the over-under for wins in the season. This is regular season only, so if you think they're going 10-2 again, you can win some cash. But what the plus and minuses mean is the odds are slanted. They think it's more likely to go over 9.5, which is good for Michigan fans. You got to put up 175 to win 100. And the inverse of that, if you put up 100 for under, if you say Michigan's going 8-4 or something like that, 9-3, you put the under, you put up 100, you win 145. So you get a lot better odds to pick under. So that means the gamblers think it's going to go over, which means they put the odds in their favor. They don't want to pay you out. So they're trying to bait you into taking the under. The smart folks, maybe they'll take the over, but you got to put up 175 just to win 100. And if you do, go ahead and do it on MyBookie. They are the presenting sponsor of the Michigan Football Report. Promo code is GOBLUE to get a 100% deposit bonus. Chatsports.com/GoBlue will redirect you with the bonus populated. When you do, go ahead and email us, promo@chatsports.com, and we will send you a Michigan football Jordan brand jersey. Chat Sports and MyBookie hooking you up this football season with double your money and a free Michigan football jersey. Do it before the 24th. Says before the 24th, 1 week prior to the game, 23rd, Friday, and you will get the jersey before the season starts. Number 4 on our list. Number 4 is Khalique Hudson, the bruising player from the 2017 season. Amazing stats, tackles for losses, all kinds of great accolades. Really took a step back statistically, and I think some people forgot he existed for a few game stretch there last year, but he is potentially a captain this year, and he may be the leader of this 2019 defense, with Josh Metellus at least, as the vets on that team, 3-year starters in that same class as Rashawn Gary and some others. But Hudson had a really nice 17, coming back for 18, coming back for 2018, didn't have as many good stats. And then 2019, I think he'll be a potential captain. You saw him going out there to Chicago. We'll see what happens, but he has been tearing up camp, absolutely jacked. I think we'll see the stats that we gave out with 2017 for Khalique. I think those ones will be out there on the field, making a big-time impact again in 2019. Guys, 1,500 Instagram followers. We did it, and now we need to get to 2,000. I brought on Midge Album, the legendary writer from the Michigan, Greater Detroit area, Lansing Daily News, the Dearborn Daily News. That's right. Saw him on our show last week. He's going to be making a weekly appearance. Now we got to get to 2,000 so we can make another special announcement here on the Michigan Football Report. That is my ask of you, getting you all kinds of information before we put it anywhere else. So there's really no reason not to follow us there. So go ahead and do it today at Michigan Football Report. Nikko Collins is number 3 on the list, having himself a day several times in the last week. Was injured one day, I heard, but is becoming a very, very reliable player for Shea Patterson, for Dylan McCaffrey, who's in there, to get big plays downfield. He is your big play downfield threat, still catching everything, saying he's playing at an all-American level. Josh Gattis has compared him to Jerry Jeudy and some of his top receivers that he's had in the past. Thinks he's going to be an all Big Ten, certainly all-American player, and potentially an early enrollee in the early entrance in the NFL draft this upcoming spring, leaving some eligibility on the table. But his stats last year, first year as a starter, pretty good. In an offense that frankly didn't take advantage of his skill sets. 6 touchdowns, 632 yards, 38 catches. But I'm expecting a big-time year from him, doubling those catches, kind of almost doubling those yards, doubling those touchdowns. I'm expecting a huge year for him. Shea Patterson will be hitting DPJ and Mike Sainristil and some others underneath, but Tariq Black, Nikko Collins, they'll be getting a lot of stuff down the field. And with Braylon and with DPJ, with Tariq Black, with Nikko Collins having this great wide receiver crew, let me just hear what you guys' thoughts are. Better wide receiver at Michigan. Don't take it to the pros. Don't take it to the fact both guys were drafted in the top 4 of the NFL draft. Desmond was number 4. Braylon was number 3. Who's the better wide receiver at Michigan? I know Desmond won the Heisman. I know that, obviously. Braylon may have been more dominant for more years, 3 years of really high-level play, 3,000-yard-plus seasons at Michigan. I want to know from you guys, Desmond or Braylon, who's the better wide receiver at Michigan? I want to know from you guys, Desmond or Braylon. Comment below here on YouTube and on the Michigan Wolverines by Chat Sports Facebook page. Guys, you saw at the beginning of the show, I got boxes of Michigan football jerseys in the back. If you get started with my bookie, we're going to send you one out, trying to get them all to you before the football season starts so you can rock it at the big house, rock it on your couch. My bookie, Chat Sports. Sports betting is no longer illegal. Do it with my bookie, chatsports.com/GoBlue. Double your money when you make a deposit, and get this jersey. We're going to send you it right to your front door. You sign up and deposit first. Step 1. Step 2, email promo@chatsports.com and just tell us, I got going, I saw what James said. You can also DM me if that's easier with that information, and then we will get your address and size, send you a jersey. Michigan Football Report, Chat Sports, MyBookie, hooking you up for the 2019 season. Number 2 on the list is a name that's a potentially surprise for a lot of you guys. Mike Danna, the transfer from Central Michigan, the first-team All-American by Pro Football Focus last year. He is number 2 on my list. Folks, he is up there potentially going to steal a starting role. I don't know. It's pretty crazy. Pro Football Focus, I think these guys are maybe a little too analytical for their own good, but they've got him as the 22nd best player in the country after calling him a first-team All-American last year. He's not even starting for Michigan. They really like Mike Danna. Here's the image that went with this tweet when they put him number 22 player in the country. for the preseason this year. They say, what does that say, Ted? I can't even read that. I'm too blind. But they got some stats there. 91.6, 55. I'm going to squint. Quarterback pressures, 55 quarterback pressures. There you go, Ted. Mike Danna transferring to Michigan, trying to get his NFL draft stock through the roof potentially. He might be a guy who steals a starting role, or you just can't keep up the field. Excited to see what we get from him. He's our number 2. Before we get to number 1, I want to ask you guys, I've got a lot of Ohio State fans and Michigan State fans, Notre Dame and Middle Tennessee State fans just trolling our shows in the comment section, saying Michigan's a bunch of bums. Let them know if they're going to do that. They've got to see the comment section littered with Go Blues. Do me a favor. Do Michigan a favor. Type Go Blue in the comment section so we can tell those fans to stick to their own BS shows that don't get any viewers. This is the Michigan Football Report, you sons of bitches. And you better bring it if you're coming here, because we got a ton of Go Blues in the comments. So go ahead and hit that below. Go Blue in the comment. Tad, no more Chat Sports on Twitter. I told you no lower thirds for Chat Sports, but get the thing over there. Josh Metellus is our number 1 guy for fall camp so far. He is having a lights out fall camp. A lights out fall camp. He is the best player on the Michigan football team right now. As we're a little less than 2 weeks, or just about 2 weeks to go until the season, Josh Metellus, 3-year starter, looked around at the NFL after this past season, decided to come back, wasn't going to be drafted in the first 3 or 4 rounds. All Big Ten first team by the AP last year. 25 starts at Michigan, both 12 games in 18. 13-17, missed 1 game last year, and then he's a 2-time Defensive Player of the Week in 2018. Nice stats, certainly not anything crazy. 47 tackles, 3.5 tackles for loss, 3 picks, and that pick 6 in the SMU game. But I can't wait to see Josh Metellus. He is the best player in this football team right now. He is the guy that is having the best fall camp right now, and he is the player I think has the best chance to be a first-team All-American for Michigan in 2019. I hope this great play continues for Metellus, because I've always really liked what he brings to the table. Let's recap the list one more time for you, folks. Our top 5 biggest stars of fall camp for Michigan football. Ben Bredesen, number 1. Number 2, Khalique Hudson. A little offense, defense, back and forth there. Number 3, wide receiver Nikko Collins. Number 4, Mike Danna. I don't know how to pronounce it yet. I got to tell you guys, I got to figure that out. Mike Danna. All right. Josh Metellus, number 1 on the list, 5 biggest stars in fall camp. That is the Michigan Football Report. Want to ask you guys to follow us on YouTube, get us to 5,000. Let's get it done, baby. Follow the show, youtube.com/MichiganTV, and we'll be able to do the show throughout the 2019 football season. Thanks so much for watching the Michigan Football Report. I've got some more videos for you right here and right here. Our last couple shows, you really like these ones on the offense and some rumors on injuries and such. If you haven't yet, as I just said, go hit the subscribe button. Click it. Michigan TV on YouTube. We are bringing you shows almost every day now, so appreciate you. Subscribe and go Blue.